Stick your camera out, that's fine too. But just don't stick yourself too far out the windows. Now, a couple of things that are not safety related but are kind of important. Cell phones should be silenced, put on vibrate, shut off, whatever you have to do so they don't ring during the tour. Please, if you kindly would, refrain from using your cell phone during our tour. No one really wants to listen to your telephone call. It's only an hour and 20 minutes we are together, so whatever happens the next hour and 20 minutes, you can, kind of deal with it when you get back. That's what they created voicemail for, right? Texting is okay. Updating your Facebook status, that's always a good thing. Sending out a tweet, that's all silent stuff. I'm all good with that. But just please don't use your phone to make voice calls. Last but not least, because this is a narrated tour, if you would, keep your talk, your chat to a minimum. If you are going to translate for someone, if you do decide to talk amongst yourselves about things we're seeing, that's fine. But just kind of do it quietly so you don't disturb those sitting around you. And with that, off we go. Freedom, fun, and firsts. Those are the three things that we'll talk about on our tour today. We talk a lot about freedom. Boston's the cradle of liberty, birthplace of the American Revolution. A lot of the events that gave America its independence from England took place here in Boston. We'll talk about some of those events as we see where they took place. Boston's a fun place, fun city, lots of fun stuff to do here in Boston. We do our very best. Have a little bit of fun on our tour today. I'll show you some other fun stuff you might want to check out while you're here in town also. Boston's an old city. It is one of the oldest cities in our country. Because it is such an old city, a lot of the things that happened first in the United States happened first here in Boston. Boston had the first chocolate factory, Baker's Chocolate. Jelly beans, first made here too. 1903 was baseball's first World Series. In 1903, the name of the team from Boston was the Boston Pilgrims, and it was in fact the Boston Pilgrims that won the first World Series. The first email was sent from a computer in Boston. Telephone was invented here in Boston also. Pages and pages and pages of these firsts, and there are some of them we're going to see, and I'll kind of point them out to you. We'll talk a bit more about the ones that we are going to see when we do see where they took place. Stop texting and drive. I can see everything from up here. So freedom, fun, and first. Those are the three things that we'll talk a bit about on our tour today. And we're going to turn right onto Boylston Street as we leave this neighborhood. Ahead of us is a fire station, which is actually the oldest active fire station in Boston. It is engine 33, ladder 15. A couple of interesting things about the building. First of all, this building was in use when they still had horses and wagons in place to fight fires. The horse stable was beneath. The wagons were kept at the doors above. They had to put the horses around and hook them up before they could take off for a fire. Behind the building, and as we drive down Boylston Street, if you look behind, you can see there's a tower where they used to hang the hoses at the end of the fire. They were made out of natural materials in those days, so they would rot if they didn't